Well, this is working out great. We're gonna take the vinyl community by storm.
That's a great intro. G'day, Ben from Melbourne here with two intellectual heavyweights. Uh, we're going to have like a round table discussion here on all of the things you want to know, a little bit about science, philosophy, politics, economics, the arts, and we have like King Vinyl Richard III and Prince Cosmic Brian with me.
I'm a prince?
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to see how this goes and wherever the conversation leads us. So we're going to start with the arts, of course. And the elephant in the room is the Beatles mono vinyl box repress. Do we give a shit?
Well, you know what's funny? What I find funny is the original mono box set are still reissues of the original. They're and they're going for like $1,000, $2,000, and I wonder how the price is gonna go on that once this new box set comes out. I would think it's gonna hurt it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
No, I don't give a shit. I mean, I have all the Beatle albums I need. I don't even have them. They're probably my favorite band of all time if I had to just pick one. But I don't need all their albums. I mean,
no.
And I definitely don't need the mono. I prefer stereo myself.
I just think it will be really funny because when the initial one came out, you have all of those wankers who had UK original copies doing the shootout bullshit because someone's always got to have one up on someone else. It's always like, no, I've got these, they're better than that. And then you watch this time around, there'll be dickheads who have the first pressing of this mono box set saying, oh no, this actually sounds slightly better than the new pressing because of blah, 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 and all that sort of shit. It's always a game of one-upsmanship with that crap.
Have you guys ever done a shootout?
No.
What is a shootout?
It's when you kill people.
That's it?
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, once I have a good sounding copy of a record, I'm done. I don't need another one that's this much better. Or fuck that shit, man. Once I have one I'm happy with, I'm done, or I'm on to looking for something else.
Yeah, you can get too much into the weeds with that shit. I want a decent sounding record, and I'm happy with that.
The VC, or a certain portion of the VC, man, they eat that shit up.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not an audiophile guy at all. I mean, if it sounds good when I put the needle to it, I don't need to know what press it is or anything. As long as it sounds good, I'm good.
Yeah, but what's most important to you, I'm sure, is who mastered it, because that seems very important as well.
Yeah, that's always been my number one criteria for buying a record is who mastered it.
Up until, I reckon, 2 years ago, I'd never heard of fucking Kevin Gray or Bernie Grundman. I do remember when I was a kid seeing that guy's name, George Marino, because of that just stuck in my head because of Merino or a breed of sheep, I think.
Who's George Marino?
Because it rolls off
an actor or something?
He's on lots of, oh God, they must be like early 80s records. You'd always see his name. It'd be like George Marino, mastered at Sterling Sound.
Now,
he also quarterbacked for the Dolphins.
Yeah. He was pretty good, too. The only sound engineer I give a shit about is Jack Faulkner. And
no need to swear, mate.
Well, sorry. I forgot who our target audience is.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have like go-to records, and one of my go-tos was the Angry Samoans Back to Samoa. Now, I sold my copy. I sold a lot of my US punk albums. And this one here, the Schizos, see, I'm getting new go-tos. This is one of my go-tos.
That's
Now,
a great record.
I didn't care for this record when I first heard it. It sounds pretty god awful, and that's thanks to Jack Faulkner. And
Um,
yeah, he does a great job, man. The first song, Driller, it sounds like an actual drill. The guitars sound like they're actual drills. I mean, it's pretty. I think most people would find it horrendous, but over time, I've fallen in love with this album. And you know, that's what's kind of funny. There's been several albums. The first time I heard it, I didn't like it. And back in the 70s, you could return records, or at least I would. I would return them. I would first go into the store, hide all the, if they had it, I would put it somewhere else. Then I'd go back out of my car, come back in and go, yeah, this record skips. They tell you, okay, go get the same thing. Well, obviously they don't have the same thing because I just hit them. And they'll let you get, something else. And I did that with Diamond Dogs by David Bowie. I didn't like the guitar sound. I did it with the second Ramones album, Leave Home. I bought it and I go, this sounds like this is the same as the first album. So I just returned it. But then after a couple of weeks, I go, you know what? I'm going to get it, man. I always end up going back and getting them. And this is kind of in that category. The first time I heard it, it was like, what the hell? And now it's a go-to.
well, you know
If
who
it
I
wasn't
look
for the
for.
vinyl,
Was that
we
Cosmic?
actually put, I think the vinyl community put that album on the map.
Yeah. Man, you're breaking up, Brian.
Am I?
I think so. I think it's you. It might be me. I don't know.
Nah, a little bit. That's all right.
Yeah.
Tell you
No,
who
it's
I look
not.
for.
So am I breaking up now?
No.
No, you're good. So
Yeah,
while
I
we're on
remember
this,
when that Schizos album came out. Ryan Kidd and all those guys were pushing that album, and everybody went out and got it, man.
that's
Put those
right.
guys on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing that on Ryan's channel too. He shows a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, Ryan's pretty cool, dude.
I tell you what, if we're talking great masterers of record, Mikey Young from Eddie Current Suppression Ring. His name seems to be on friggin' everything now, and it's usually a good sign that it's going to be awesome. You know these guys?
Who is
Australian band, Eddie Current Suppression Ring.
it? No.
Mikey Young's the guitarist. You would love this, I reckon, Rich. And anyway,
Are they like in that TV Repairman and that whole bunch of bands that are all like interconnected?
before that, this is 2007. They were kind of
Okay.
like the a real good kick in the ass in Melbourne for punk bands, and just recorded really raw. I think they first two records they recorded in a rehearsal room. Even though the first one got like this award and they got all this cash, they just went and recorded it the same way as the first one, which was cool. Awesome band. But he's like, as most dudes who play in bands now, you need a side gig as well if you're in a punk band to make some money. And his name is on so many records, which have, he masters stuff from like there's all like a lot of Australian bands, obviously, like RMFC, cool kind of post-punk, garage rock bands like Frowning Clouds. One of my favourite bands of the last couple of years, Split System. This is friggin' awesome. I think you got the second one, Cosmic, Split System 2. Have you got this one too?
I need their first one.
Yeah, they've just released a new 7-inch too, which is a split one with, I think, a French band, which is awesome. They're called Orb, you know them? They're like the psych rock sort of band with the big love affair with all things Sabbath as well.
Yeah,
All the stuff now, a lot of stuff on Anti-Fade label, like the Living Eyes. He's mastered all of that stuff. This one, which I've shown heaps, Civic, with their record, Taking My Force. This one's actually produced by Rob Younger of Radio Birdman too, and mastered by Mikey Young. And what else we got? Oz Mutants, another awesome Geelong punk band. And then a few, like, which I noticed, like, these are American bands. This band called Class, he's mastered this as well. And they're, like, they're sort of power pop, but, like, on the punkish end of it. Really good. They got a couple of records. They're on that Feel It Records label. Really, really cool shit. A band called Rays is great too. They're on Trouble in Mind, another cool label. And then this one, which I didn't know until recently. You know John Dwyer from the OCs?
Yeah.
This is his kind of solo thing called Damage Bug, which is really cool. One-man band, tripped out. Kind of like, I don't know, like keyboards in the red and, you know, bit less guitar-y than OCs, but really, really cool. And anyway, yeah, Mikey Young's like mastered that, because I think that connection's from when Mikey Young's other band, Total Control, toured with OCs, and we're on Castleface Records for a couple of things. But he's my favourite masterer of records over all of
Is
those.
he Australian?
Of course, man.
Is he related
now we
to?
know why he's your favorite.
Is he related to George Young?
No, actually, he isn't part of that Young clan.
Oh,
Not that I'm aware of. But he's definitely got the DNA with the riffage when he plays guitar.
Rich, do you like the OCs?
I've seen some clips of them live, and they were with two drummers, and it was really good. But I only have one of their albums.
Yeah, I just picked up my first one. I think it's called Castlevania. It's kind of garagey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know the one. That's a while ago now, that one.
Yeah, that's early stuff.
Yeah, they kind of started. He was in a band called Coach Whips, which were pretty much garage rock thing, and OC started off as a reaction to that, and it was kind of almost like weird freak folk stuff, but then it developed into more garage rock and psych, and now it's like the two drummer lineup and pretty wild. I actually saw him a month or so ago, because I've seen him a few times. If you ever get a chance to see them live, they're just off the hook. Really, really cool.
You know how they're always changing the name, the spelling? Does the sound change that much from album to album, or are they pretty consistent?
Nah, they're all over the shop, actually. Yeah, you can't really pin them down to one thing. Like, the only thing that ties it all together is it's fucking out there.
I think I read something about the reason that they changed the name, like with each. I can't remember what it was, but
but you're gonna bring it up anyways.
Well, I was gonna. The reason I was bringing it up is because I was kind of doing some research on it for an upcoming video when I show the record. But yeah, I don't know why I brought it up.
That's good info. Thank you.
So
yeah, hey, no problem.
So that's my issue. I don't know where I would go, because I don't know if I would like everything by him or only certain things.
I reckon there's probably two. There's like one called Orc, which is probably more of a representation of the more modern era of the band, and then it's the one with the strawberries and the teeth on the front. What's that called?
I can't remember.
You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna use the interwebs and look that up. I can't quite remember the name of that record.
Yeah, I'll look it up after.
I have
Yeah.
a record store. There's a guy down here, a record store I go to. He's been trying to talk me into getting into their stuff forever. I finally broke down and bought an album recently, and I really like it. But I have listened to some of their stuff too, and it's still really cool. They kind of remind me a little bit, like you said, they're hard to pin down, kind of like King Giz.
Floating Coffin is the name of the record. That's the other one, which is kind of the earlier version of the band.
And you said that was kind of like folky?
No. That's if you want to go way
freaky?
back. This is more like psych garage rock stuff, where the newer stuff, it's like, it's a big sound. Like, it's hard to describe. It's got all of that in it, but more. The early ones, like the Hounds of Foggy Notion and things like that, Cool Death of Island Raiders, they're all more on that minimal freak folk bedroom weirdness. But yeah. And the Damage Bug records are pretty good too, which is his like side thing, which he hasn't done for years. I think the last thing he did was that whole album of Michael Yonkers covers, which is really cool.
Michael Yonkers?
Yeah. That's what I said.
All right.
Well, just in that lull of conversation, I'll just show this.
Yeah, I never seen that record.
Yeah, I never show it. I really dug deep to pull this one out.
Was that
I want their second album, man.
Eternally Yours, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably just by the fact that I'm stranded so strong, it's just slightly overshadowed by it, but it's damn good. Like, it's got Know Your Product on it.
I think it's as good or better.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The shop had a copy, and I guess it was their third album, and I did not like it. So I was thinking it was like that. And when I got home, I streamed it. And I go, oh, fuck, this is really good. So I went back to the shop later that day, and it was already gone. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah. The third one's almost like a soul record.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
It's a grower if you stick with it.
Yeah, I'm too old for growers, dude. I'm going to kick the bucket any minute, you know?
Where it's like, I finally get it. This hat, I'm gonna have to take it off. It's like causing more trouble than it's worth. I mean, my energy dome, I apologize.
Yeah, I need an energy dome, man. I was up on the roof today. It's 105 degrees.
Jesus.
And the cooler went out. So I'm up there. My wife's getting pissed off, saying, you shouldn't be up on the roof when you're drinking. And I tried to explain to her that I think drinking and going on the roof go hand in hand. I mean, have you ever noticed when a drunk driver gets into a wreck, the drunk driver's never the one that's hurt. So I figure if I'm drunk and I fall off the roof, I'm going to be fine, you know?
Yeah, you'll bounce.
Yeah. Come on.
Good old-fashioned roof drinking.
Yeah.
I'd have to drink just to get enough courage to go up there.
Yeah, our roof is pretty. It's not very steep.
So what'd you say it was 106?
105. Like, what is that? 40 Celsius or whatever?
That's what
something like that probably.
Yeah, 41. That's pretty damn hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Today's the hottest it's been all year.
Wow.
And I'm outside.
Yeah. Well, it was like 3 degrees this morning here. We're really starting to get the chilly ones.
3?
Oh yeah, you guys do everything ass backwards. Huh? You don't only drive on the wrong side of the street. You have winter when it's summertime.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
You see Santa on the beach in summer surfing.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I've never seen that, man.
I'm still
summer
baffled by
Santa. Yeah.
I'm baffled by the fact that it's a different day there than it is here right now.
Yeah.
I'm living in the future, man.
Yeah, that's wild. You're a time traveler.
So if you wanna lay any bets, I can give you results.
Yeah. Are the Dodgers going to beat the Yankees tonight?
You're gonna have to talk about a sport I actually understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Baseball can be a little sophisticated. Yeah.
I actually
All
been
the ins and
starting.
outs.
I've been starting to get into it because I go to Japan every year, and I usually see a game of baseball over there. So Honshin Tigers is my side.
Yeah, my dad, both my parents were from London, and I don't know if it was the similarities between cricket and baseball, but my dad he really was attracted to baseball. He was a big baseball fan.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm getting into it, I got to admit, and there are a lot more similarities to cricket than I realize, which I do like.
And the thing with cricket, those games go on for days.
Well, there's different formats of it. That's called a test. That goes for 5 days.
Yeah, I remember when I was in England. England was playing India, and it seemed like the damn game was like a whole week long. It was like, what the hell's going on?
It's good because of the pitch, what they play on. Like it breaks up as the days go on, and then it suits. At different points at each side, whether you're a batter or a bowler, has more advantage depending on how the pitch breaks up, and then you got weather, and it's fantastic. I can see people like switching off right now the more I talk about cricket.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is apropos of nothing, except I watched it last night. I watched this White Riot.
Is that about the Clash or something?
Which is a doco. Well, indirectly, it's actually about these English, like the Rock Against Racism, which was a kind of a zine started by people who are into music, and then they organized. I thought that it was just like that one big show with the Clash, but apparently they organized lots of shows over like 3 or 4 years, and they'd bring together like this big Jamaican immigrant community, so they'd have like a reggae bands and stuff like that, as well as punk bands, and it was basically a fight against the National Front over there, which was like the really extreme right wing party. And man, it's the reason why I bring this up is it's kind of like it's scarily relevant to a lot of shit that you see going on now. Like it's not that far removed, and it's actually not that long ago. It's like 1978, 79. But it was cool. They would send out, like pre-internet and things, they would just send out kits to people who'd want to put on shows, and they'd be like things, at all costs save the PA because that will like cost you the most money and things like that. Which was it was really, really good. And you've got like everyone, X-Ray Specs, the Clash, Sham 69 on there as well, and all the people who organize the actual shows themselves, and the people who are involved in the zine. It's really, really cool. It's not like a super long, what was it say, about an hour and a half, 80 minutes. Really good, and lots of cool footage, which I hadn't seen before.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just thought I'd chuck that in. See, it's not just.
So you watched that last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hadn't watched it before. It was cool. So, here you go. I'd never heard of the Tom Robinson Band.
Oh yeah, I
I don't,
have.
I didn't know them.
I think
Yeah.
wasn't he the gay guy?
I don't know, but he definitely
Yeah, I
had
think so.
definitely had lyrics which were not only about um, sort of race and stuff. There was
He's
also
pretty political.
yeah. He was more like pub rock sounding guy from what I
Yeah, yeah.
there than punk. Sort of
But
more in the
back then they lumped it all together.
yeah.
It was all like, I mean, I remember going to record stores and that Ace of Spades album, that was in the punk rock section.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
It,
think they had a metal section back in 79, 80. I don't think there was one,
oh okay.
It was just, yeah.
But that was fair bit different, I suppose. It was like had the energy and rawness of punk, even though all the metalheads probably disagree now. It's just had a few guitar solos.
Yeah. A few too many a lot of
I think
times.
both the punks and the metalheads were into Motorhead, I think,
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. See, I didn't go to school back then, but from people that I've talked to, they said that the metalheads and the punks kind of like stuck together because it was the jocks that would always give them shit. But I don't know. It was a different era when I went to school.
Well, on that note of different eras, it's 26 minutes. Let's leave it at that for the moment. And we'll have another one really soon. Thanks for
Yeah.
that, dudes.
What are we gonna call this shit, anyways?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I don't know.
We can figure it out on the next one.
All right, let's do it. See ya.